The metric system is simple to use because everything is based on powers of 10. However, we can't use the metric system all the time. Sometimes we have to convert between units, and sometimes those units just don't match up perfectly by powers of 10. When we need to convert between English and metric, or even English to English, you could do this between inches and feet, or feet and miles, or whatever you need to do. When we're converting with things that we can't just pop that decimal back and forth, then there is a very quick way to convert your units, and that's a process called dimensional analysis. So I gave ourselves a little example here. Let's say we're going to look at the desk. The desk over here is 32 inches high, but we want to know how many centimeters that is. If we want to convert from inches to centimeters, it's not just powers of 10. In fact, we can find by looking up our conversion factor that there are 2.54 centimeters in every 1 inch. Okay, that's not a power of 10, definitely. So for every inch that this desk is tall, it's 2.54 centimeters. Whether we are measuring with, a meter stick or a yardstick, the desk is still the same height. These two mean the same thing. They're just in different languages, so to speak. It's kind of like English and Spanish. Whether you're talking blue or you're talking azul, your shirt still looks the same, right? So these both mean the same thing, just in different languages. So when we're converting from one language to the other, so to speak, we will set ourselves up what I call the T-chart. You might have heard railroad track or fence post. There's all kinds of cutesy names for this dimensional analysis thing. I just call it a T-chart. But here we have in our first box what we're given, what we start with. In this case, it's the 32 inches. So I'm going to put my 32 inches in that first box. Okay, and that's my first unit, inches, what I call unit A. Now, in order to get rid of the inches, in order to cross it out, they need to be across from each other. So inches is going to go down here, and what I want it to become, which is centimeters, will go on top. Okay. Now I put in, you see the word ratio right here? I put in that ratio. What two things mean the same thing as each other? Kind of like 1 dozen means the same thing as 12 individuals. What two things mean the same? So in this case, 1 inch means the same thing as 2.54 centimeters. Okay, so now I've got it all set up. The only thing that I need to do now is multiply across the top, and that will give me a number, multiply across the bottom, and of course in this case it gives me a 1, so that's all simple to find. And then if I have something on the bottom, then I will take the top and divide by the bottom. But in this case I don't, so my number is 81.28 centimeters. Okay, divided by 1 still gives me the same thing. So that's my final answer there. Okay. Now the real trick comes when we have two units at the same time, which is what we're going to cover in the next video.